Hey, welcome back to AJ's Garage. Day, I don't know, 8,000 of me trying to get this seat in. Hopefully, today's the day. Basically, to catch you up just in case I didn't get a good recording. Last time I had welded two little, I guess, seat bracket supports, with the idea being they would be the sub-belt mounting point. However, after reading into it a little bit, you can't mount the seat belt, or you can't secure the seat belts to anything connected to the seat. So I cut them out, and now I'm going to cut the brackets down to little 2 by 3 inch sections. And I'm gonna weld this one in place. I'm undecided if I'm gonna weld this one in place yet. Worst case, what I'm gonna do with this one, if I don't feel like welding it, because honestly this sheet metal is pretty thin and it's kind of tough to weld these plates to the metal. If I don't feel like dealing with that, basically in this location, what I'm gonna do is just RTV it, like drill a hole where I'm going to mount it, RTV it in place, and then like to the underside, and then I'll just mount it from the top. But it's enough talking, let's get to work. Alright, we've got it all cleaned up. We've got stuff welded in. Let's take a look at where we're at. So I've got these plates welded in. You can see not the prettiest welds, but it was a bit of a challenge with how wavy the floor is. We've got our base mounts prepped. We've got these all sanded smooth. Let's get the other seat brackets in here and maybe tack them in place. Let's get wild. Alright, just to show you guys kind of the angles of what we're dealing with. So we got about 0.4 on this part of the sill. We're at 0.1 here. You can see This is about 0.1. And the whole thing is about, just under 2 degrees. So you know, 0.3, 0.4. So we've got about, that's about 1.5 degrees rearward, which is pretty good. That's what we're looking for. And then you can see side to side, we've got 0 to 0.1 there and 0 to 0.1 there. I think I'm gonna shore up some of these tack welds and then test fit the seat in here. The seat isn't final installed. I still have to go weld those L brackets entirely, but this is it. It's in. This is a position it can be in. As you can see, I don't have these bolts fully tightened, but if need be, we can move the seat rearward. What is that? Probably another inch and a half or something like that. But this is it. She's in. So I think I'm gonna final weld all the brackets. And then at this point, I'm just waiting on the harness to come in and my weld-in nuts. And then I can punch in the weld-in nuts, weld those in, and then paint this area to make sure it doesn't rust. I'm just gonna use some primer. I think I have some, it's like a Rust-Oleum rust eliminator or something. I don't know. It's supposed to stop. You can spray it on rusty stuff, and it's supposed to stop the rust from going any further. That's what I'm gonna do because I don't really care. We're not trying to make this car last forever. It just needs to last probably a couple years. But it's about time though that I got this seat done. It took me what felt like forever. I think it was forever. Can finally start moving on to figuring out the roll cage, or actually figuring it out, and start using this nice tube bender that I got assembled. Hola! So I've done a little bit of work off camera, but I got the racing harness in and the weld-in nuts for the racing harness. So I'm gonna show you those now. So starting with the work, all I did was drill a 3/4 inch hole in both these plates so this eyelet came off the racing harness. So this is a G-Force 6-point racing harness, and this is one of the shoulder straps. Yeah, and as you can see, it comes with a buckle style with these threaded eyelets. This is a 7/8 by 20 thread pitch, and so I ordered these weld-in nuts so that I can put those in. I'll weld in the nuts, and then we'll have a nice secure spot to secure the harnesses to. The other nice part is, I found the other day, is this hole right here is already threaded for this size. So here's another one. So I'm going to use this factory location, and then I'm going to weld in a plate right here, and then do the same thing I did here. Drill a hole in the middle, weld the plate to the end, and then I'll have another location right there. And that will be the sub belts and the lap belt mounts. And then once we get the roll cage in, we'll just have the shoulder belt harness bar. Jeez. Update. So I have this plate welded in. This one was a little bit tricky because this metal is just like a sheet metal over a structure and it blows through really easily. But I got her welded. As you can see, I drilled a hole in the plate. However, I also had the thought, and this just occurred to me not too long ago, that there might be brake lines or fuel lines or something run up the inside of that tunnel. So to verify that, I'm going to jack the car up, get under there, take a quick look. If it looks relatively clear, I'm gonna take a drill bit and just punch through there and then go back under and just verify that there's nothing there. We're definitely in the clear. I'm gonna fire the drill bit through just to make sure it's coming out where I think it will, but there's nothing there at all. So this is the bottom side of my patch panel, and it should be right in this area. As you can see, there's nothing there. Oh, that was way farther back than I thought, but that's no problem at all. Alright, I was going to paint this with a rust inhibitor paint. However, apparently the nozzle clogged, so I just used some primer that I had. Here's one of the seatbelt mounts. Again, this is a factory one in here. Then I've got these two. And then the seat will sit right on here. I think it actually turned out pretty well. I wasn't sure for a little while there, but pretty happy with it. We'll get a seat on it at some point and actually get it in. I might wait until I have at least the main hoop and sorry, I pulled an all-nighter due to work, so I'm a little out of it. But the main hoop and the harness bar
And that way we can actually attach all the seat belts, sit in the seat, make sure everything works. Who knows how long that's going to take. I've never done a tube or bent any tube before, so this is going to be an adventure, but one I get to learn a lot on, so I'm pretty stoked. And I've always wanted to do this. I'm pretty excited. I'll see you in the next video.